back. My name's Harriet, for those of you who don't know, and I mainly post a lot of book content, but also I post stuff like studies with me, and there'll be a few different vlogs in the future as well. But today's video is going to be about February book recommendations, because starting this Saturday it will be February, and we know it's the month of love, even in book reading. So I've got a lot of books that I can recommend to you, and they'll like be in different categories. So you've got YA, then you've got just most of these are romance books. They all are romance books, by the way. But you've got YA, you've got more adult books that probably have a few trigger warnings, and then we have a dark romance section as well. So let's go on with the video. So we're going to start with YA, and the first book I'm going to talk about is A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Now this is an international bestseller, and it's a really actually quite sad book as well. But it's about two people, Rune and Poppy. And Poppy and Rune, they grew up together as he moved next door to her house. So they've been best friends for years, and obviously when they got to see like high school, they did end up getting together, and they were seen as like the most perfect, cutest couple. But Rune then had to move away. But while Rune was away, they said that they would keep in contact, but Poppy had completely cut contact with Rune while away, and Rune didn't know why. Rune then turns to drugs and like alcohol and ends up not being the nicest person ever. He ends up returning and ends up finding out that Poppy doesn't have that much long to live, and Poppy cut contact because she wanted to keep him far away from it. That's as short as an overview that I can do of the book without giving away too much, but it's definitely a really good read. It is YA. I recommend this to younger readers. It's definitely a really good book. The next book is in a series that's YA, and it's Once Upon a Broken Heart. However, the rest of this series is probably also YA, but not like this book's 100% YA, but I wouldn't trust the other one. So maybe if you're a bit more of a younger reader that reads more maturely, this book definitely, but maybe not the rest of the series. Now this book is a very good book, and I loved it so much. I became addicted when I read this series, and it is very popular on TikTok as well, and over YouTube. But it follows the story of Evangeline, I hope I'm saying that right, Evangeline Fox, and she finds out that the love of her life is about to get married. So in the efforts to stop the marriage, she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts that he gets free kisses, but he gets to pick them, like the place and when they happen. And it's a very good deal. It's like striking the deal with the devil, and it's a very good book, and I definitely recommend it. Especially it's a romance book as well, but it has other tropes in it as well, fantasy, found family. It's just a very good book. Now the next book isn't really YA. I definitely recommend it to older readers, but it's definitely not as bad as some of the other books that I've got. But it's The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. And I love this author so much. Her books are amazing. But this book follows a few different characters actually. We get quite a lot of point of views in this story. So we get Georgia Stanton, whose grandmother is Scarlett, who's a world famous romance author. And it also and her love interest is Noah Harrison. And they fall in love because he's a bookseller, and she's trying to sell her own books and sorting through her grandmother's stuff as she recently passed away. But we also get to see the love story of Scarlett and Jameson, and we get to follow all of that, and it's her grandmother's unfinished love story. It's a very sad book, but I loved it so much. It was very popular. It was like a TikTok sensation a while ago, but it's definitely not one that I would miss out on. It is such a good book, and the amount of emotions I felt with this book is mental. But I definitely recommend it to, I say YA, definitely older readers though. I'm now going to talk about The Ballad of Never After. Now this is in the same series as Once Upon a Broken Heart, but this is, I wouldn't recommend really YA readers. It's definitely more of an older read like the last book, but this is a very good book. In fact, I actually will recommend the whole series, but I'm only just going to talk about the first two books in the series today. But this book follows once again Evangeline, but the Prince of Hearts that we talked about betrays her, and Evangeline Fox swears she'll never trust him again, and that now that she's discovered her own magic, she will be able to write her own happily ever after and rebuild what was broken. But obviously Jax, the Prince of Hearts, will not be taking that lightly. But definitely another good book to add, and I definitely recommend the whole series, but this is probably not YA friendly, maybe just a little bit older. Now this is another romance series. I'm gonna recommend the whole series, but I want to talk about my favorite book. So this is I don't actually know the name of the series, but it's a very popular series. It's the Hopeless, Reckless, Flawless, Heartless series. Now this series I love so much. I think I actually read it within the week. Oh, it's a country romance novels, all of them are country romances, and it's so nice. But I'm going to talk about Hopeless by Elsie Silver. Now this book follows Bailey and Beau, and oh my god, the amount of tropes in this. It gives enemies to lovers, it's forced marriage, well not forced but fake marriage, oh my goodness. And it all starts out as a bet, as he doesn't believe anyone will hold her to her last name and she wants to prove him wrong. So they fake marry in order to win this bet, but they keep their carefully drawn lines saying that we can only show affection in public, there's nothing needs to happen alone. But when they are alone, that's when those carefully drawn lines start to become blurred. But I definitely recommend, definitely for older readers, but it's an amazing read. Next, I don't think I could talk about romance books without including the Twisted series by Anga Huang. And it's a good time to include these as well because she's coming out with a series on Netflix with them. I'm really hoping the casting's good. But I want to talk about two books from this series. I want to talk about the first one and the second one because those are my favourite. But we're going to talk about Twisted Love. Now this one is Ava and Alex, and oh my goodness, it's brother's best friend, sort of enemies to lovers. They do hate each other at first, or Alex seen as this cold-hearted man when Ava's this bright ray of sunshine. But it's a very, very good book, and he starts to feel something for his best friend's little sister. Ugh, it all goes to hell, but it is so good. I recommend this so much, especially with the new series coming out on Netflix. Obviously it's going to take a while, but it's definitely confirmed as well, so definitely recommend. The next book is Twisted Games, and this is my favorite book in the series by far. Oh my goodness, Reese Larson and Bridget are the best couple ever. I love them so much. She's forced marriage, she's the princess, she's never supposed to become queen, but she does. Oh my goodness. Reese Larson is her bodyguard as well, enemies to lovers, forced proximity. This book is so amazing. Reese Larson is actually my favourite book boyfriend. He is amazing, and I recommend this book so much. But definitely for older readers. There's a lot of 18 plus scenes in this book, but it's such a good book, and it shows feminine power and just love and romance, and it is so good. I love this book series so much, and it has so many tropes in it, connected, because they're all connected, since Ava in the first book is Josh's younger sister, and Josh's girlfriend slash is Ava's best friend. All the girls are best friends, and all the guys end up becoming best friends as well. And obviously Alex and Josh were best friends originally, but they are all best friends, and it's such a good little found family trope, and I definitely would recommend this whole series. And one of the final books I'll be talking about is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Now this is such a good book, and I'm currently only a few pages in, but I love it already. So the whole series is basically kind of not anything to do with Disney, but it's all Disney villains pretty much. This one's about Hook. Hook's son. But yeah, and it's Wendy is the main girl as well. So it's a very, very good book, and I love it so much so far, and I definitely recommend it. But it definitely is dark romance, so definitely for all of viewers. I'd recommend like the whole series as well, because there's quite a few books. There's also another one, Hexed, as well, but I just don't have it. But you can get it really, really cheap at the works at the moment. But yeah, definitely a very good dark romance book I recommend. Another book that I don't actually have with me, as it only came out a couple days ago, is Onyx Storm. I love the Fourth Wing series so much so far. I loved Fourth Wing so much. I was in such like reading slump after that book because it was so good. And as well as I'm Flame as well, that the second one in the series is so good. It's supposed to be a 5-book series, and the third one came out on the 21st of January in the UK. So I cannot wait to read it, but I definitely recommend that book, as you'll be able to get it as it's already out in most countries now. But I would definitely recommend it because it's supposed to be really, really good. I've already seen really, really good reviews of it already.